I have gone straight from coastal grandmother to grandmother with this outfit. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from my tacky Christmas sweater, we have another Christmas vlog today. Well, hey Molly. If you watched my last vlog, you will have seen I'm making orange ornaments, so I'm gonna finish those up today. I'm gonna show you my best favorite, in my opinion, sweet potato casserole recipe, perfect for the holidays. And we may get into some other holiday stuff. So hope you enjoy. Make sure you're subscribed and have a Merry Christmas. So if y'all are wondering about this, we wear tacky Christmas sweaters every year for Christmas Eve with my parents. And I thought this was cute. It had a little thing that meowed, "We wish you a Merry Christmas," but I had to take that out to wash it. So we're gonna be wearing this and getting around the house. So excuse the very non-aesthetic area over here, but these are my oranges that we've got dried out. I'm gonna let them sit for a little while, but oh my gosh, you can just see in the light, they just turned to like a stained glass. They are beautiful. So we are gonna put some ribbons on these today. Oh, this one's really pretty. We're gonna put some ribbons on these today, and I'll show you what I do. So the really pretty ones are gonna go on the tree. I like this one. Like, what? Nature makes such fun little patterns. But then some other ones will just be tucked in some garlands, and then these ones like these, we're just gonna use on gifts. So I'll show you how I do that as well. I've got my second batch in the oven, and this will be all of our 8 pounds of oranges. So those should be finished up today. And I showed you guys in my last vlog, but I threw those little orange butts, is what we'll call them, the ends of the oranges, into my crock pot simmer pot, and it smells delicious in here. Also, I'll be doing a full home holiday tour, but I had to preview this for you guys because you saw in the last vlog that I was duping this, and I love how it came out. So we just got it on the mantle. We're nowhere close to finished decorating, but thought that was really cute. We're taking a lunch break, and somehow we were both in the mood for pizza at the same time, which just never happens. So we're going to Mellow Mushroom to eat pizza. We've got to pick up some more Christmas lights. Y'all, I forgot to take them off my fake tree last year. I just left them wound, and I was like, oh, it's going to save so much time. Well, we got a real tree this year, and instead of me pulling all those off, I'm like, we'll just buy some new Christmas lights. So we're going to do that. And then we'll be back and finish up some of our oranges, and I've got to make sweet potato casserole and all that fun stuff. So Ryan's heading down to the car now.
I guess that opens kind of falls.
Pizza fella. Santa Paws, and we are making Christmas ornaments. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how I'm making my little orange ornaments. We're going to do some variations of these as well with star anise. This came from Amazon, so I'll have it linked, and also cinnamon sticks, but we're just going to start off doing the basic ones. So we have got our dried oranges here, and as you can see, they're kind of see-through. So this tool, you can use anything. This specifically came from a pumpkin carving set, but as you can see, it's got a sharp end on it. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna find the point that we want the top of our ornament, and we're going to poke a small hole and kind of wiggle it around. So next we're gonna be using this ribbon to hang our ornaments. This came from Amazon, this spool. I will have it linked down below. It's just a really pretty burgundy color, and I'm cutting it with this kind of edge. So we're just gonna cut it. We're not measuring or anything like that. Okay, so we've got our small piece of ribbon. We're then going to place the ribbon above the hole and then take this tool. You guys could also use a pen or a needle, and we're gonna push it through that hole, okay? And we're gonna pull it through. Now, we're gonna do these a couple of different ways today. Some of them I might make into a bow, but for most of the ornaments, I'm just going to do it like this and put a small dab of hot glue underneath. So all I did was I pulled it through. So you can see here, I've pulled it through the ornament. We've got our back of our ribbon with a little bit of the top hanging off. And then we're gonna fold this top part down, put a dab of glue, and then hot glue it together. And then that's it. So this is what the ornament will look like. We're then going to, like I said, some of them will put some star anise, different type of things on them. But I'm going to do a couple more of these, and then we'll hang them up to let the glue dry before we put them on the Christmas tree. Okay, so I've got those drying now. I actually hung them on a little light fixture. They look really cute, so I may keep those there, but I'm gonna show you now how I'm gonna be using the star anise and the cinnamon. It may be different for every single one of them, but we will see. Okay, so we are going to start off with our orange. And as you can see, this one has a little bit of character to it, is what we'll call it. But let's start off with the star anise. And I did buy a whole star anise, so I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna pull one out. And if you haven't seen star anise, this is what it looks like. Just a little pod, and they smell like licorice, so. But what my plan is for these is I am going to glue those, see if you can see it, on like this, just to add a little bit more texture. So again, I'm just gonna take a dab of hot glue right in the center of that orange. I'm gonna pop my star anise on that and hold it for just a second. And then there we go. So same thing with this, I'm going to do the ribbon just like I would. I think I'm going to kind of batch these a little bit and pick the ones I want to put star anise on and cinnamon, and then I will finish hanging them. Okay, I've got a little one I did cinnamon on, and again, we'll just hang the ribbon from this. But some of them I'm also gonna do cinnamon on the top and on the ribbon, but we're just gonna kind of play around with it and get some of these decorated. Okay, so here's what we've got. You can see we did a lot of different ones, and we just did the little ribbon. So easy peasy. This is all of the first batch except for these over here, y'all. These are kind of our ones that we're gonna just like tuck and put in gifts and things like that. So we're not gonna hang these on the tree. I also hung these from our little fixture in here, and I think they just look darling. I'll probably do something from the middle here, but not exactly sure. I may do some greenery or something there, but super cute. And these are the lights we ended up getting from Home Depot for our Christmas tree. So we're just gonna use one big spool of these. We've got lights. We did have to add another 100 bulbs to the top. A little bit different, but they blend in pretty well. Ryan did a great job. I was thinking about doing some garland. This is garland I have from a few years back, Hobby Lobby. But I actually think I'm just not going to do it. I'm gonna do the orange ornaments, and then I have some faux cranberries we're gonna put in there as well. So these are our ornaments on the tree. I've got a vacuum, and we've got quite a few more ornaments that are still in the oven. I haven't found my cranberry picks yet, but this is our start. And I'm gonna take a little break now. Okay, y'all, I am starting my sweet potato casserole. To me, this is the best sweet potato casserole. I have worked on it through the years, done all kinds of different things to it, and this is where we planned it. So I will have the full recipe from my blog posted down below. But I wanted to show you guys, you do start with 3 pounds of sweet potato per casserole. I am prepping 2 casseroles today because I have my parents and my in-laws that I'm going to. And I think every Southerner has a signature dish for the holidays. And mine is definitely sweet potato casserole. That is what I bring. That's my thing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So first step is I'm going to wash these sweet potatoes. You want to look for the fattest sweet potatoes you can. Okay, so the fatter the better, because those are going to be your sweeter ones. Like I said, 3 pounds per casserole. Wash them really good, scrub them off, and then we're going to poke holes in them and get them ready for the oven. So I have washed my sweet potatoes, and this is what I mean by really fat. You want one that's big. This one's got some ugly spots to it, but it's fine. And then we're going to take a long fork, and we're going to poke about 6 to 8 holes all around, 6 to 8 like fork jabs all around, so these don't explode in the oven. So I'm going to do that all on my potatoes. I am using Reynolds, this nonstick. If you're not using this, make sure to spray some type of oil or something, because as these cook, they do kind of crystallize, and so they'll kind of leave a gooey little mess if not. So I'm gonna do that with my potatoes, and then we'll get them in the oven. Okay, here are my potatoes all prepped, and remember, this is for 2 casseroles. So if, like I said, you need 3 pounds for 1 casserole, or about 4 large sweet potatoes. So that's about right, 4.5. And it's okay if it's a little bit off. So this is the part to me I never want to skip, because baking the sweet potatoes and having those fat sweet potatoes makes it so much sweeter without having to add a bunch of extra sugar. I mean, We're gonna add sugar, y'all. Like, this is the Southern recipe, we're adding sugar, but so good that way. So these are gonna, I've been preheating my oven. They're gonna go in at 425 for about 45 minutes to an hour. What you're gonna wanna look for when they finish is they're gonna be really, really soft, and you're gonna see a little bit of the sugar coming over the sides of them. So almost like a caramel looking coming over. And typically what I do is I'll do these in the mornings because you're going to want to let them cool. Today, it got a little way for me for today, so I'm going to be doing it in the evening. But once they're finished, we'll just let them cool, and then we'll do the rest of our Molly! We'll do the rest of our casserole and get that on its way. Okay, so we just got them out of the oven. They took a little bit longer, but this is exactly what you're looking for. They are completely soft, so if we take our knife, they very... Well, I say that because the skin's tough, but like it's soft all the way through. You can feel it, and then you can see the sugar that's dripping out of it. So we need to let these cool completely, and then we'll get to assembling the casseroles. Okay, so we've let our sweet potatoes cool down completely. So I'm going to show you guys. All we're going to do now is pop them out of their skins. As you can see, because they're cooked so well, they're loose in there, so it's going to be super easy to get these off the skins. And we're going to put them into a big mixing bowl. Again, remember, I'm going to tell you guys the ingredients for one casserole, but just know I'm doubling them in this recipe and making two. Okay, so we're doing this with one hand, but we've got our KitchenAid mixer right here, and you can see when we start to pull it, it just comes off super easily. So of course, we're going to take our peel. If I wasn't doing this with one hand and trying to film, we're going to take our peel out of here, but super easy just to pop the skin off. You don't need to cut it or anything, just pull it out, and then you'll have all that sweet potato. So I'm going to do that with all 8 of our sweet potatoes and get them in the bowl. And did anyone else watch Rachel Ray growing up? Because now I always have a trash bowl beside me. So all of my scraps will go in here, and then we'll have our potatoes, and we've got a little help over here who may get a nibble or two because sweet potatoes are fine for dogs. Okay, yum. We've got all of our sweet potatoes peeled and put in here. Like I said, they were so easy. They're so soft, and I did taste a couple of them, and they're really sweet. They're really good. So we've got our trash bowl here. We'll set that aside. Like I said, I'm going to, ooh, goodness, my nails are a little, that's just sweet potato stuff on them. I am using a KitchenAid mixer. You absolutely do not have to do that, but I have found it's easier. I am, however, going to mash these up a little bit manually. I just find it's easier to mix once we do that. Okay, so we're roughly mashed up here. Again, we're not going for perfection because we're running it through the KitchenAid. This is the little masher I use. It's actually fantastic. It is Faberware brand. I'll have it linked down below. It's from Amazon, but it works really well for meat too. So that's all good there. Okay, so now is for the fun part. So we've got our sweet potatoes. We're gonna do a half a cup of half and half, a half a cup of brown sugar. That's gonna be to taste, so you're gonna wanna taste those. So make sure you put in your eggs last, because we're gonna put in 2 beaten eggs. We're gonna do a half a tablespoon of vanilla and a half a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. And y'all, I know this is not a pumpkin pie, but trust me on this, it is fantastic. So that's what we're gonna add. And just again, remember, I am doubling it. These are going to be the key to the best crust ever. They are the Costco praline pecans, and oh my goodness, they are fantastic. So I'm gonna get everything added in here, and we'll throw it in the KitchenAid mixer. Okay, so everything's in here except for the eggs, because I put those in very last because I'm gonna wanna taste this. We're gonna mix this up, I'm gonna give it a taste, and if we're all good, I'll add the 2 beaten eggs, and remember, it's 2 per casserole, so I'll be adding 4 to this one. And if you don't have one of these splatter shields, they are my favorite part of the KitchenAid. So I just did a little taste test, and we're gonna need a little bit more sugar in this one. Sweet potatoes weren't quite as sweet as they normally are, and that's totally up to you. So I'm gonna add in probably another 1/4 cup for this 2-part casserole, and then stir it up, taste again with a new clean spoon, and then we will put the eggs in. And also remember, your topping is going to be sweet because we are not missing out on any of the sweetness for that. So if you're borderline, leave it as it is, because we're going to be putting brown sugar on the topping as well as those praline pecans. So I'm going to mix that up now. Okay, we got our eggs in. I loved the taste before I put the eggs in, so that was perfect. And just remember, you want your sweet potatoes cool. We're not making scrambled eggs here. It is normal for it to look lumpy. That's just with the potatoes, y'all. So it'll look much more appetizing once we get it in the pan. Okay, so I've got a greased pan here. This is the Le Creuset, I guess it's the 9x9. You can use whatever pan you would like. If you're going to use a more shallow pan, just remember that's gonna have more topping on it. Either way, it's totally fine. So we're gonna use this one for one, and then I've got a crock pot casserole dish, which is crazy, I know, but you can bake in it and then keeps it warm that I'm gonna take to my in-laws, just because that works for our schedule better. But like I said, I have greased this a little bit. I just use this ghee spray. So this is a little spray I use. I think it is perfect. It works out really well. Okay, so now I have poured my sweet potatoes in. I'm just gonna use this spatula to kind of spread it out a little bit because we still gotta bake this. So still got a little bit of a ways to go. It'd help if I was on the camera, but let me put this down and do this real fast. Okay, it's spread out super nice. So now we're gonna quickly do our topping, and then I'm not going to bake these tonight. I'll go ahead and tell you, but that's the great thing about it. I always make my casseroles a day or two in advance. They're super easy. If you want, you can just make the potatoes in advance and then do the casserole the day of. And now for my favorite part, which is the topping. So per casserole, you're gonna do a half a cup of brown sugar. I'm just using light brown sugar. And you're gonna do a full cup of these praline pecans. It doesn't have to be this one, but y'all, this makes a difference. And then you're the perfect holiday snack. I throw these out all the time. So I went ahead and made it for both, but we're going to just evenly spread this over the casserole. Okay, we've got our crust on, but wait, there's more. We're in the South, nothing is complete without butter. So we're gonna do 1/4 of a cup, which is 1/4 of a stick of butter. So we're gonna cut it and then lay it on the top. And then this will be ready for baking. You're gonna bake this at 325 for about 30 minutes. Just watch it. You're gonna wanna see the top kind of bubble up a little bit. And really you're just warming it through and making sure those eggs are cooked all the way in. So 325 for about 30 minutes. Okay, and that's it. You are all done. I go ahead and put a little bit of foil over the top of this, put the lid on it, and then it is ready for when we need to bake it the next day or the next 2 days. So I'm going to assemble my other casserole. I'm gonna finish watching Santa Buddies, but it's that easy, y'all. It's not healthy at all, but it's the holidays, so that's what we're, you know, that's totally fun. So I've got this together. I'm gonna throw this one in the fridge and then finish up, and then we're gonna relax for the rest of the evening because I am so tired. Okay, this is 2 days in the future, and I have not finished broiling it, because you do want to broil it for just a little bit to get this top nice and crunchy, but I'm going to have to do that at my mom's house because that's where we're eating, but this is the finished product. That white on the top, just a little bit of butter, that will cook off once you broil it, and when you broil it, it becomes really nice and crispy. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more Southern content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell below, and have a Merry Christmas, y'all.